Oh.
Is anyone there?
I'm here-ish.
I am here. I'm not.
Yeah,
I unmuted myself.
Right. Are we live or is it?
I have no idea.
I don't know. It's a good question. Can you guys hear me okay?
Something happened. You're
Camera's
now
still
see
out.
the cameras.
It says we're streaming.
Hey, so everyone out there in the world, welcome to a standard episode where we have technical issues at the very beginning.
All the tech goes completely to shit.
Well, obviously needs more data centers. That's what we've learned here today.
That's what we need. We've got the Great Salt Lake, and so we can just use all of that
For now.
Feed that data center for a week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're getting comments that says we're live. My audio's still working. Bronos, can you help us out here?
Oh,
yeah,
some heavy hitters in the chat. My goodness.
There we go. All right. So you could still we can obviously hear you. You're just having video issues, Sean. And there's a bunch of folks here.
Yeah,
I
got memory issues all over my laptop. I don't know what's going on, so I might have to just drop out entirely.
All right.
For those who don't know, Sean is incredibly good looking. If you've never tuned in before, imagine an incredibly handsome man. Don't take that from him. Yeah, Zuckerberg is trying his best to put a dime in it, but use your imagination.
So just so everybody knows, we apologize. Sean normally runs these. He normally produces them. Unfortunately, he's having some issues with his laptop. Sean, if you want to go ahead and try to reboot, do a few other things. If you could, before you leave, though, post the links for our good guests so I can actually try to bring those up. And I will apologize to everybody online because this would be my first time really running this session and these links. But we will do our best job that we can, and we'll go from there.
Let's see.
All right. Hit that private chat. So again, we would like to thank both guests today. I don't know if Sean went through this. I will tell everybody here, just so you guys know, you're probably going to see a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to get back out of there. I can't comment myself because I'm having some keyboard issues, but I can control the screen. I'm hoping this will work.
You drive. We'll direct you.
All right, that sounds good. Let me see if I can't get back to Facebook. Just to see if I can't. Wow,
I'm trying to get those links. I can't even do that.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm having some issues with, like, for some reason it's blowing up. My keyboard is blowing up here myself. So if everybody could give me a second. I was trying to think of how to. I would love to reboot and come back in. All right.
Do it. I mean, will that shut down the stream?
No, you guys should still stay up, I believe.
Okay.
So just don't exit the video. And I am going to try to reboot because...
I tried that. It didn't go so well for me.
I'm hoping it goes better for me. So hold on. And
Thorfinn,
Sean,
can you go into the Facebook chat and put the links for the video?
Oh yeah, sure. I can probably do that. Yeah,
because I can't even do that.
Okay.
I'm just the host.
I'm trying to figure out how to log into the chat as my Facebook instead of my YouTube.
Yeah, that was kind of a hassle for me just now too. So I'm trying.
I don't know how to. Log.
I love it. Well, it's a free show, folks.
Yeah, I can't do shit. It is a free show. Everybody gets a refund.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's now making me do a thing where I have to go into my YouTube video thing, which I don't even have a password for. So this could take a minute. I don't ever watch YouTube on my computer, so I watch it on TV. Hopefully find it. So I found the SCA Coaches Corner Facebook chat, so I'm going to add that link in there. I think that's what you're asking me to do.
Well, in there, you're going to have you get the links for the videos that we've got for these guys.
I do not. Oh, I think. Oh, I see what you're saying. Is Brownhouse can access those?
He's rebooting.
Oh, right.
And I just can't do shit right now.
That's a freaking bummer. Like I said earlier, I'm really good at 10th century, really bad at this stuff. Like, you want me to, do something else? Like, absolutely.
I'm going to go ahead and blame Helga for being in Sweden.
Yeah, what an a-hole, right? Off to have fun in Sweden, leaving us here.
Yeah,
when
she was here,
the millennial, right? She's supposed to know all this.
Hey, Sean, this is Seafried. I'm jumping in to see if I can help out. What do you guys need loaded?
Ah, okay. In the Coach's Corner video, so we had a chat going. Let me see if I can pull that back up. I only see one video, though. Is it way up there?
There's
Hobbit St. Valentine's Day, and then...
Yep, you want that one, and then Song's got one.
Oh, okay, we're way up here. I got you. Yeah. Hob versus Honda.
And it just...
You go all the way to the top. I'm with you. All right. And who am I sending to? Siegfried or who?
Thorfinn, just put it in the local chat on the
I can't do that because it wants me to go through YouTube, and I don't have a YouTube thing, so it just is saying I have to hook to a YouTube account that I don't have access to.
On the private chat, you can't go on the.
Let me check. I'll check on that one then. See if that's a difference.
There you go. Hob just posted it in the private chat. I'll pull it up.
Look at him. Proactive. I like that.
Yeah, I can't do.
Yeah, I'm only seeing the comments coming in, so the chat.
Okay, hold on just a second.
There you go.
And why don't you guys do introductions for everybody while we're doing this?
Sounds like a good idea. Okay, well, here we go, folks. This is another episode of video review for Coach's Corner. We've been doing this for several years, and we have found that the people that have availed themselves of it have shared a lot of learning experience with the entirety of the SCA community. So I'm Duke Thorfinn, the Cruel from the West Kingdom, and I've been fighting for, I don't know, almost 40 years. And I've always used video review as a tool. And what we're going to use this as is we're going to look at each one of the fighters that are here today, which are Hob and Song. And we're going to go through their fights, and we're going to review where they come into their first failure in the fight. So that would be getting struck by your opponent or getting killed. And then we'll break it down, and we'll talk about what we're seeing, each one of us, and we'll allow them to also ask us questions. Who's my co-host? It's you, Randall.
Hey, what up? Sorry, I forget that I manually mute my mics because my keyboard is super loud and I type very aggressively. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but yeah, we're gonna take a look at some things. I've watched the footage. We've watched the footage and taken a look at some issues. And look, we're gonna try to pinpoint areas that we can improve, and hopefully everybody learns together. It'll be fun. Both Song and Hob, like, kudos, because it's like being vulnerable on the internet and like putting your questions and risking like the stupid question or the obvious question is difficult. But this is how we get better. And like, we're all like royal peers here analyzing stuff, but it takes a lot of courage to be a fighter that's on the come up and like willing to sort of be critiqued in a public fashion that not only helps you, but helps others. So I think that's important to mention, and I want to give credit where credit's due, because without our unbelts that are taking the risks, like, royal peers don't care what anybody thinks. We've reigned. Like, we know there's haters going to hate. So it's always a nice prospect to have people willing to take that risk.
Yeah, and so if you guys have questions as we go forward with the video review, save them up and ask them, and we'll make time to answer your questions. People can also drop questions into the chat, and we'll try and answer those too. Okay.
Hob, do you want to do a quick introduction?
I'm Hob. I've got a background in Belgarth, but I'm new to the SCA. I've been fighting the SCA regularly for about 5 months now. And so far I've been to 2 events. So looking to get feedback on my footage. I'm located in the Kingdom of the Middle. So, yeah.
Sounds great. Thanks.
I'm going to kick up the video footage now. So,
Song? Do we have songs in intro?
You want a song to introduce himself first? Sorry. Song, you want to introduce yourself first here?
Yeah, sure. My name's Song Qingjiao from the Kingdom of Meridies. I have been in the SCA since 2000, fighting since late 2013. Took about a 4-year break. But I've been back since 2021. Had some injuries, so I am just coming back from fighting and learning how to fight in a new body, because I have also lost like 70 pounds in the past year and a half, 2 years. So I'm relearning how to fight with my new ankle and my new body.
Well, I mean, I just told you a minute ago that I'm going to be having a similar surgery, so I'll be going through the same thing. So maybe we'll get more chances to talk later about it.
Yeah.
But, all right.
All right. So you guys ready for the first video?
If you could, yeah.
All right.
And normally we run these through at regular speed, and then we'll stop the video, and then we'll run them through at a slower speed. Okay. So we can actually break down the fight.
And
thank you.
Let me know if you need sound. I don't know if I'd have it on there or not.
Okay.
I did want to mention, I called, well, actually, I'll mention it when it pops up.
You're on the left, right, Hob?
Yeah, I'm the one in the black garb.
Okay. Cool dojo place.
Oh, it's such a nice venue. It's like a skateboard park.
Oh, right on.
That right there, I told him not to take it because I didn't think I stabbed him hard enough. I've learned recently that you're not supposed to obliterate people when you stab them in the face.
So it depends where you live. Okay. So did he get you that outside head right there? Is that what you're taking? Okay. Randall, let me know when you think you got enough too to start making some comments. And anyone that wants to see something, run back. We can just we'll just rewind it. And Aaron, you have a nice thrust.
Thank you.
I gotta watch my notes. Every time I take a note, you get lagged, and I miss what happened.
Let's go ahead and rerun that.
Yeah, rerun that for me, please. I literally looked down to write something, and I turned back. Damn it! Branos only lets me drop 4 curse words an episode too, so I gotta really save them up.
Well, that's okay. You can just pay me in beer.
Okay.
What are you trying to outdo Helga?
No, you can't.
No, she owes me a lot.
Yeah. Oh, that was a nice shot.
Can we stop here for a second?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Can I ask about that last shot? Just wondering, did he call that light?
Yeah.
The offside head.
Okay. Do you because you're coming from a foam background?
Good point.
So there's going to be some body mechanics at start, and some of that is, if you look at your hip mechanic on this, your hip is already engaged while you're throwing the offside shot. So what's happening is you get less rotation. See, there was no rotation in the hip there at all.
Yeah.
So you're bleeding the power off that way. So just be careful. A lot of people there you go. So a lot of people, when they're using the funny foot forward, they're still cocking the hip a little bit so they can actually still engage it on the throw.
Right.
So
yeah, you can feel the muscle tension of loading that hip when you stand into it.
So on that, I actually had a question about generating force while moving, with like not the greatest balance necessarily. So I've recognized that there's like the perspective of keep the balance good in the first place, right?
Right.
But in the opposite situation where I'm like putting more weight on one foot, is there any advice on generating power when I'm like at a goofy angle?
Yeah. Okay. So actually, let's stop here for a minute and talk about some of the things I've noticed what we're doing all across the whole board. Okay. When you're stepping oftentimes heel first, right? So you're coming off the ground, and by stepping heel first, see how you're doing it right here? You're landing heel first. And what this does is it nails your foot to the ground and also steals all your power and ability to move. So if your balls are your feet, you're still able to transfer energy and weight. So this is kind of a problem. But and also that's a really large step. So you could do a gather step there, which is kind of like a small, quick step, like a boxer would do, rather than a large stride. right? Because you're taking energy out while doing that large stride forward. So that's one of the things about power generation. If you're not connected to the ground, you can't really start to generate power. Okay, so what I mean by that is if you're on the balls of your feet, as you come forward, you're pushing off the ground with your leg and foot, and that energy is going to transfer up to your core, and then from there, which is the strongest part of your body, by engaging your core and your hip, it's going to allow you then to move that energy out through your arm. So every time you do one of these things, it creates force, right? So every fulcrum you add, force multiplier, right? So you eventually will learn to be able to fudge some because you can transfer the energy and keep it with you. But right now you're having a hard time starting that energy to get it to where you can hit hard enough to so like that offside that we were talking about earlier, it was all arm and you had taken your entire core out of that. So there was no real power in that one.
So as far as addressing this,
yeah, go ahead.
As far as addressing this, I was thinking of doing the 1 through 6 drill. Would that be a good way to?
Every area has a different name and number for these things. What is the 1 through 6 drill for me? Sorry,
it's where you just.
It's a sword. It's a sword drill.
That's a Pell drill. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
No, this is different. It's different in the sense that we're trying to figure out a way for you to help generate the natural kind of core power. The hand and the arm are really mostly just kind of guiding the blow in if you do it correctly. You're not hitting with your arm. That's just guiding the blow, right? So, and even the last fulcrum is your hand. So as you squeeze the blow right before impact, that last right here, tip speed, force multiplier again, creates speed as well, okay? So this is like the last fulcrum, and that's right before impact. You tighten that hand, right? And it makes that crisp snap you want to hear. And your opponent will sure as hell know that they got hit, right?
Okay.
And so one of the things you can do is you can stand and kind of just get yourself in a good balance place and start to just go back and forth like a coil. So you can feel yourself as you transfer energy over each foot. It's going to go into your body, right? And you can feel it come into your core. And then from your core, you're going to transfer that energy out to your arm and your hand. Right?
Yeah.
And that's all going to create speed to the end of the sword.
Okay.
But that's one thing to work on. You can do that both at practices, the training practice we talked about, and maybe even at the Pell. Pell work is a whole nother thing.
Okay.
Okay. So, but that's why you're not getting enough energy for some of those blows. And it's also what's throwing off your shield work too, is you're taking these giant steps, right? And you're stepping out literally from behind your shield. So your shield stayed in one place, right? And then you moved your body to where they could hit your leg. And so what you're doing is you got to learn, and this is like maybe you can get a friend at practice and actually spend time not even worrying about fighting, just making sure you can cover the zones of their attack as you move forward with your shield. You're fighting with a center grip kite, right? So your hand has to always be up and down. If you start turning your hand, what's going to happen is it'll get the tip on the bottom way out of position, right? And then you're going to get lit.
Yeah. As far as shields go, I've been just kind of using whatever shields because I don't have a shield. So I've been mostly using loaner shields. But I really like the kite shield, so I'm going to build one.
They're good. They're an effective shield. I use one currently. I did one for a long time.
I'm currently using a strap shield, which I'm not a fan of.
I did one of those for a long time, so I understand those. Yep.
Same here. Randall, you have anything?
12 years.
You have something on this?
Your volume.
Yeah, it looked like your mic is down. So while he's fixing his mic, I know we're having a global of issues today.
The hell of a thing, huh?
I know. But I fight with the center grip teardrop. Really, the teardrop actually is the center grip teardrop specifically. There's a lot of people that fought with for a long time because they're watching what I did from way back. But the key is, His Excellency said, the big step is think about when you're taking a big step, what has to happen before you can do anything else in that step. Most of the times you start that step and you can't do anything until that foot hits the ground. Through all of that time, your opponent has opportunities. So by reducing that step into much smaller pieces or much smaller steps, that gives you a shorter opportunity for your opponent to strike you. But based on energy control, that same thing works. If you're really lengthened out, it's very difficult to actually throw a shot and turn your hip if your feet are really wide. So big part is there are tons of footwork drills out there, and footwork drills from soccer, basketball, football, any of those drills teach about keeping feet close together, keeping them moving, keeping light on your feet. So those are the drills instead of it. This is not a sword work drill at all. You're right. I mean, not yet, right? This is, fixing that long step, fixing those feet is all about going back and taking a look. We do a lot of ladder drills, whatever other drills you want to do, that's perfectly fine. There's a ton of them out there. There's lots of boxing drills out there, but almost all of those sports do a form of ladder drill. Ladder drills help you understand how to keep feet small. One thing over time, the farther you are away from your opponent, and this is a range thing that you're still working on, the farther you are away, the longer legs you can have, the bigger step you might take.
Right.
But as you get closer, those legs come together and gets the distance between them, the distance between your feet gets smaller, and your steps have to get smaller until, if you watch some of the top fighters, their feet will be so small at the end that they're taking 1-inch steps, which is very difficult to even do.
Register.
I teach a lot of royal peers that it's like, hey, take this 1-inch step to get offline, and they take a 6-inch step. Yeah, well, they take a 6-inch step. I literally have to move their foot for them sometimes.
So many times you'll see like really, really great fighters will be literally like, people say like, it doesn't look like they're doing anything, and I'm like, man, they are fighting like hell right now, right? Because what they're arguing over an inch, and that inch is the entire game.
Yeah.
Right. So think of it that way: is that this is we're not talking feet, we're talking inches, and really even half inches and things like that. So that's when you're really dialed in, those things are 100% what changes everything.
And as you get those dialed in and you get feet closer together, then your hip can actually engage more because you got more rotation on the hip. So, and your feet to be closer, you can shift balance from one foot to the other, like you're supposed to when you throw. Shift from one foot to the other foot, engage the hip, and throw. So all of those pieces, you're doing left. You're still learning the kinetic chain and all the individual pieces of the kinetic chain. And then at some point you have to attach. There can't be any break through that chain, and it takes a long time to develop. But you're doing a great job so far. You get really good sword work. You just have to find it in the fight becomes a bigger piece. So
cool.
We got a mic yet, Randall?
Yeah, I think so. Testing.
Yeah. All right.
Hey. All right. Yeah, to echo on what they said, the only thing I want you to be mindful of from foam fighting is that like power generation is like very much a big deal in the SCA. And I don't know a lot about foam fighting, but I think like it's a very tip speed oriented game from what I've seen. And the times I've gotten my rear end handed to me by Sven or others fighting foam. And I was like, oh, okay, you guys play for real. It's painful. But like, I think some of these opportunities where I saw where you like were up in like you were up in the dude, like you were like in A range, right?
Yeah.
Be mindful that like hip is great. And I think that's a fundamental, but at the same time, when you are like neck and neck with somebody, short stemming, dude, short stem. Like if you hit a guy with this part of the blade, you don't need hip. You don't need anything, man. You can just deck a guy. And like the example I constantly use is from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Has anybody ever heard of this? It's a very obscure movie. Not a lot of SCA people know about it.
No, I thought it's on my list though. It's on my list.
Small indie film. See if you can find it. But Monty Python and the Holy Grail, there's a scene with the knight with 3 heads, right? This is one of the greatest things that ever happened to SCA fighting, because what I tell guys is I want you to imagine the guy with 3 heads. And if I want to hit a guy here, I'm punching that head and letting this part of the blade do the work. If you just jab a guy or a female or gender, whatever neutrality
a folk
thing. All right. I want to be inclusive.
I like folk.
Yeah, if you hit a folk right here, and you're short stemming them, you're getting into positions where you are going out of your way to hit with the top part of the blade. Get that out of your system. Like the second I'm from Atlanta, so like I mean we take a little pride in putting a little thunder down under. So like when you short stem somebody and they just like it's so great.
Yeah, a short stick does never sucks.
And you just like it's such a force multiplier. And I see guys, especially when they're in A range fighting, and you understand what A range is, like that's the closest measure. Okay, like chest to chest. They will bend out of their way to try to hit a guy with the tip. And it's like all you had to do was this. Just punch one of the invisible heads. Like figure out which head you need to punch in the face and just punch it in the face and let the weapon do the rest of the work. The power will drive. And you get short stemmed in the head, you don't need a hip, you don't need any of that stuff. Like it's useful, and I don't want you to unlearn the fundamentals.
In the footage with Spike that I sent, because I sent 2 videos.
Is that the next one?
I was having issues with that exact thing.
Well, why don't after this? Why don't we roll into that one and we can review it?
Okay.
Right there.
Yeah. Because I was getting really close up and I was unable to generate enough force on the base of the sword.
Yeah. Okay. Understood.
Let's jump back through the.
Can I make one more point real quick because I was muted? So when we talk about footwork and they're talking about these big steps, I want you to think about poker. Like when I fight, I take little tiny steps until I'm ready to go all in. Like I find my moment and I'm like, boom, that's my big explosive, much faster step, much more aggressive step, giant step. When you see those moments, like, all right, I know you've got nothing, all in. Like think about it like that, because like you've got to go all in as a poker player and get your butt handed to you. You've got to like go all in and make those mistakes to figure out, oh, well, wait a minute, I didn't consider this, I didn't consider that. But think about your footwork like poker chips. Like when you are doing these things, if you can find those moments where you can take that big aggressive move, take those risks, because if you don't take those risks, you'll never learn the skill. So don't be afraid to do it, but you want to think about like a big step, a big explosive step, like I'm pushing my chips in.
I like it.
All right, let's go ahead and look a little bit more at this video, and we can hopefully get to this next one. Sivert, can you shut the audio on us?
Off or on?
Off, please.
Off.
This is about where you were.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's that light offside. Yep. Light offside on top there.
I probably shouldn't have taken the leg in retrospect. That was probably
That's
light.
okay.
It's practice.
Yeah.
Practice.
Yeah. No one wins practice, man. So
yeah,
it's okay to now you're practicing from here. Okay, so stance. We'll talk about stance in a minute.
I don't care if they were good or not. That hurt.
You did a nice job with your feet. Did a nice job with your feet side to side in that one, actually.
Yeah, I did too. I thought the same. I was like, that was actually really nice. Right there.
Same with that step out one. Yep.
Oh, that straight back leg is killing me though.
I know.
Well,
and the foot is flat on the ground too.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh. Why don't we go back to that so you can see what we're talking about, just so it's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what it'll feed back to what earlier we were talking about, but you'll have a visual representation of what we were meaning.
And you did this way back leg. When we, watch your back leg right there. You see how you see how far that is, and then there's a lot of sitting back on it, and it heels on the ground.
Yeah.
By the way, the reason why your foot is that way is because your hip is all the way engaged forward, which again makes it hard to generate power. But that's what they're talking about. So go ahead, pause this for a second. what they're both talking about. Randall, you want to go ahead and cover that?
So like the other thing you need to think about, we can talk about hips and hip rotation, but I want you to pretend that you're at the International Space Station. You can rotate your hip all day long in a zero grav environment, and you're not going to generate any power. Power comes from the earth. So your back foot, like when we rotate our hip, if our back foot isn't engaged with with something solid, you've got no power battery to draw from. Like everything comes from the earth. So when your back leg is like fully extended like that and you're leaning forward, number one, you can't rotate your hip. Number two, if you were Gumby and you could rotate your hip, it wouldn't matter because you don't have any power from the planet. Like everything comes from the earth. And I hate to sound like a hippie, like as we're bludgeoning people to death. But like be mindful of that sort of thing. Like you've got to, like your stance is just too wide, which is fine. Like, I think it's working for you, but you just can't, like, you've got that hand speed and the arm athleticism to make it happen. But if you had that foot under you and bent, you'd be in a better spot. And like, you're in a good spot because like, to give you background on me, I used to weigh 325 pounds. I had a weight loss surgery, I had a gastric sleeve, and like I lost 100 pounds. It was one of the best things I ever did in my life, but it completely forced me to reinvent my fighting. Who did I go to when I needed to figure out how to throw with power again? Who's in the room? Duke Sean. And I sent him Pell work, and I was like, hey man, I'm not hitting the way I used to. Can you look at my Pell work and tell me? And like one of the things he did was like, I want my toes always pointed at my enemy, not like all the way, but I want the fronts of my feet to be aggressive. I want my on like not the heel, but whatever. What's the front part of the foot called?
Balls of your feet.
Balls. I always say it's the balls of your feet. Like you want to be there, ready to strike. And do you see? Look at the. I'm pointing at it as if y'all can see. Look at where your foot's pointed over here. Like you want both of your point. You want both balls of your feet engaged, and you want your toes like at least. Like if your toes had shotguns, they should get hit with some kind of spray, like or some kind of pellet. Like they don't have to be like laser focused like a sniper rifle, but you want them generally facing towards your opponent, ready to move forward at any time. I'd rather you move forward too much and then learn how to wean it back when you need to than to sit back on your heels and never be in a position to throw when the moment strikes because you're super fast. Once you start to see the gaps from foam fighting and learn how to translate that into a rattan strike, you're going to absolutely like set things on fire. So you've got a very fundamental base.
I did have a question based off of that. So to go back a little bit, so having like my more weight on, like when determining how much weight I'm putting on each one of my feet, do I want more weight on my back foot?
No.
Sometimes.
No.
Sometimes.
Mostly even though. Okay, so as you transition between steps, naturally you're going to have more weight on one foot or the other, right? But the idea is to not leave it there. So it doesn't stay on that foot. So a thing you can do is like you can stand like what they call horse stance. You know what that martial arts is? Okay. So that you're sinking into the balls of your feet, but you're still on them. So at any point you can, move fluidly between all those things, still being in the same stance. That hurt a lot, by the way.
Not a good idea, bro.
Ouch. Okay, but the idea is that you want to be equal balance, right, as you move through these things. But naturally, as you pivot and things, you will momentarily transfer energy to that foot. But the thing is, by being on the balls of your feet, it's easy to transfer it back. If it's on your heels, you literally are nailed to the ground because your weight is set back, right? And you can't. You try to pick up your feet, you can't do it, right? And you actually, it's just not a thing. And somebody can just push you right over. It also steals all your power. So like Randall was talking about, is that stealing energy from the earth, connected to the earth thing, which is absolutely the case. You are pushing off the ground, which that is you're taking that energy from that, moving it through your body. And so if you have a place where you cannot move, you cannot steal that energy from the body, from the earth.
So in terms, I'm sorry. In terms of weight, in terms of weight distribution, the two examples I usually give fighters are tennis players when they're like ready to, like, they can go left, they can go right, they can go forward, they can go back. Watch a tennis player. Tennis absolutely translates. They are hip generated, going this way, that way. Their footwork and stance is fantastic. The other one is not as popular as it used to be, which is an Old West quick draw shoot gun competition like the Quick and the Dead. I think you want to be somewhere in between
They're
those
not happening
things.
as much as they used to.
Yeah, well, not America. There's time. We're still young. We've got time to bring it back. But go watch the Quick and the Dead. Go watch like some tennis players and see how they like. I think tennis players are a little wider than you want to be, but at the same time, the principle of being able to move forward, back, left, and right independently is very good. And I'm going to segue real quick. I know Bronos has got to make a point, but like the best thing that ever happened to my footwork as a fighter was when I picked up downhill skiing. I don't step anymore ever. I don't take steps. I fight and I lift my foot up, my body. If I'm going, whoop, if I'm going here, I just pick this foot up and let my body put it where it needs to be. And if I'm feinting here and coming here, I don't think about stepping. I'm like, oh, I got to put my foot here. I'm at the point where I pick up my foot and I let my body tell it where it needs to go. And that is the kind of like, if you can switch into that mindset.
And by picking up, he doesn't mean a lot. It's literally just till it's not touching the earth anymore, which sounds crazy because and then you just glide across the ground.
So what that is it's a drop step. Out of boxing, that is called a drop step. Your foot glides across the ground. It doesn't actually need to pick up because the farther you pick your foot off the ground, the more distance you have to put it to the ground. It also changes your height if you're not controlling height well, and it will show your opponent movement. So it is called the drop step. It also helps with power generation because you are using that same gravity to pull you back down to the ground and your whole body is going forward. So now if you're going straight forward with the mass of your body, then what happens is you gain more power generation from that. So just be aware, after that step, you have a gather with the back foot to retain your normal stance again. So your feet stay relatively in the same stance all the time. If you stretch out that front foot, your back foot should be following it. Okay. There's lots of different steps out there, but that is the drop step. It's all you're using is your body. What's happening, by the way, you're sitting, you're just shifting your energy forward. You're lifting that front foot and you fall naturally forward. That can also be done backwards, sideways. Wherever you shift your center is where your body goes, while your core stays nice and straight, and all your blows come from the same directions. So if a lot of people, if they want to go one way, they shift their shoulders. Now, if I shift my shoulders, where is my body? Where's my block? Where's my sword? It's in a different place. But what Randall's showing you is he's just shifting his center or his hips or his belt buckle, really. And that weight goes over, he lifts that front leg and he just falls forward. His body position never changed. So that's what becomes very important for you. This is a hard one in the sport that you did before, because what's happening is you have a lot of lean range stuff, and there's, what's happening with the long lean range stuff is your legs get really long, your hip goes way forward to get one sword really far forward. You're going to actually have to break your habit of that. That's something we had to do with Sir Ingolf here, or in your game known as Fox. We had to break that from him too, to help him generate more power. So just be aware, there's going to be some discipline on your side to do what Randall says. Your feet, a lot of people, they call it the pie of death in our area. I always say that your toes should always be controlling the outside of your opponent. In other words, inside, your opponent should always be inside the pie of your two toes. So if your feet are this way, I create this angle. Your opponent should always be in that angle. And if your opponent's always in that angle, all your shots, all your defense is always the same. So it makes it much easier to be consistent in what you do.
You know what, Branos, you're pretty good at talking about this. I wonder if you should try and check in on these once in a while. I don't know. Have you thought about doing more Coach's Corner stuff?
I don't know. I like watching you guys. I learned too much.
I like that. That was nice. I like the pie part. Okay, so do we have another fight, or do we need to?
I think we got another fight here. If we do,
can I add one more quick point? But like the point is, like, when your feet are too wide, this is how you know your feet are too wide. If you pick up 1 foot and you don't go enough to change the angle, your feet are too wide.
Don't go anywhere.
If your feet are underneath you, that's what you need to be able to pick up that stuff and let your body carry you. But if your feet are wide and you pick up 1 foot, you ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And the other point is like when your front foot is in the air, you are the most vulnerable. I time like when I find somebody and I've got them tired, even a night level fighter. If I got a night level fighter tired, count level fighter tired, like I'm looking for that front foot to take a big step. That's when I go. Because you like my fencing coach told me, he said, hey, lift up your front foot. And I did it. And he's like, okay, now go backwards. And I was like,
yep, you're done.
Okay, touche. Like, so good fighters will time your front foot. So you want that advance to be very, very short.
Yeah, I actually teach a trigger drill based on that. When that leg comes up, you can fire there and you know where it's going to be. You don't even have to look. You can just tell by their step, you're like, bam. And so as it comes forward, you can't take it away because your inability to move.
Okay. Here's the second video for Hob.
Okay, real quick. Yep.
Well, maybe it's not this one. I don't know. It's the other one.
Yeah. Okay. So this
hold
looks
on.
like the same place.
It's not advancing. We'll try that again.
All right.
It's a technical difficulties evening.
It's 2026.
Yeah.
Welcome to yes, exactly.
Who's got the AOL CD? We're out of minutes. We're out of AOL minutes.
I think they gave you like infinity at the end. Didn't they give you like infinity of those? Hey,
Hob,
nope, that's not it.
Hob, after you're done,
it was a Boston Massacre on our Valentine's Day Massacre.
Yeah. After you're done, go ahead and I think the biggest piece here is all about movement. I have a number of drills that are online. We practice it all the time. And I'm happy to send you those drills. I don't think this is sword drills on a Pel. I think this is really drills on an open area where you can do footwork. So, all right, let's see what we got.
Oh, dude. 2 minutes and 7 seconds. My God.
We were less tired in this footage, or I was less tired in this footage. Honda was pretty tired in the footage as well, though. So.
You have a moment in this fight that I bookmarked, and I was like, sweet Lord, baby Jesus, thank you so much.
So here's a good one. So go back a little bit here. I just want to point this really out. You have one large step, and then you do a really nice job gathering your back foot with the next smaller steps. So watch. You'll have a really large step. Now watch your back foot. Oh, no, not far enough back, I guess. But what happens, and you can watch throughout your video, you usually do a one large step, and you're actually covering too much range with that. You don't need to be that close. Right. But look at the little gathers that you have.
See, that one was okay. Yeah, that was good, right?
Mm-hmm. That was nice.
See, and matter of fact, the best part about it was you were on the balls of your feet, too. That's why you could do that quick little step like you just did.
His knees are bent a little bit, too, which was nice.
Yeah.
You want to have your knees bent.
You had 3 shots in this fight that were memorable to me, and 2 of them your opponent didn't take. 2 out of the 3 best shots that you threw in terms of potential, he didn't bother taking. So you're like, that's important. Like, you're doing well. Like, we can make some minor adjustments. And we need to talk about your stance. Your stance is wrong.
Yeah, he was waiting for that step.
And your shield was like, remember I said that if that bottom moves, right? If you start turning your hand, suddenly your legs open. You turned your hand to the right or left, I guess, and it opened your leg. So if that point, the excellent point of this type of shield is you have the best leg defense.
Yeah.
And so if you change your hand stance, you lose all that. So you can't fudge that at all. It's a very kind of one of the few persnickety shields that has like a.
Your wrap is solid though. For 6 months, this your wrap? Jesus.
I think I learned that in foam.
That's the good. Yeah. I don't care where you learned it. Don't lose it. You better, dude. That took me like 8 years to learn to throw a wrap like that. You're killing it.
Thank you.
Oh, that was so sick. Yeah. Was that 207? Is that 207?
Yep.
Oh yeah, just about.
Dude,
That
this is the greatest thing I've seen. Like in
pump fake with a
dude. That hop is everything. Look at this. Wait 1 second. Here it comes. Boom. That hop. Boom. Everything.
And the
everything.
the level change. So he made a level change in that hop. So
yeah, he presented one level that they reacted to, and then you went to the other one. Yeah, it was really slick. Nice shot.
That was Royal Pier level slick. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like I was like, oh, okay. Like, no. I mean, it's legit. And I'll talk more about why it's working once I've been drinking, so I'm not even gonna lie. So I'm excited. Like, I saw that and I was like, oh yes, we can work with him. He will make it. This is a little that's troubling though. That's troubling. We need to work on that.
And the thing is, too, left-handed fighter, there's a few shots that you're going to throw that are going to be how you pay the rent. I mean, a leg wrap, offside head are two of your things that work almost every time. I mean, that's your money shots. So,
of course, they're money shots too, right? So
absolutely, but the thing is, they don't know that. So, because you should be exactly.
Oh
even.
God, what a move! That was sick. He didn't say. I don't think he took the first one, and that was one of the better shots that you threw. Which I don't care that he didn't take it. Like we can fix that, but the idea is better than the execution.
Yeah, you actually saw the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is old footage.
all right.
All right. So Samurai, you fight a lot. I take it.
Yeah. We fight a lot. He's a good dude.
All right. Let's is this a different one with him or something? Yep, I guess 2-stick.
I think we're switching, aren't we?
Yeah, let's go ahead and switch. Let's wrap this one up.
I wouldn't mind if we run a little bit longer than normal because we had that 15 minutes at the beginning that we didn't do anything with. Right?
I would prefer to talk about the last fight before we go to 2-stick. I don't know if I'm on the same page with everybody.
No, let's go ahead to the last fight. We're gonna skip 2-stick and we're gonna change our folks here. So, but let's go ahead and talk about the last fight and then also put up kind of the wrap up on like three critical things you'd like to see him work on.
Perfect. You want me to go first, Thornton?
Yeah, go.
All right. These are fundamental rules for any right-hander that's like, well, he's left-handed. I can't learn anything. It doesn't matter. Like, these are the fundamental rules to fighting a left-hander. Remember the 3-head example that I gave you? Right? When I fight a left-hander, I square up to him, and then I imagine him to the right. I take a mirror image of him, I project it to his right, and then I square up with that one. Right?
Yeah.
You have your shield covering this leg and making your opponent not want to go for this leg. You should absolutely be honeypotting this leg. You should be dangling that bad boy out, because if I'm a right-handed fighter going for a left-hander, look at how far I have to. Dude, look at this beautiful, well-toned deltoid, I think. Look at this. I mean, this is an Adonis level thing. Just hit that meat, dude. Just go in. You want everybody going for that leg. But with your shield being down here, you cut off the bait that you really want people to. You want them to take a deep shot, a low percentage shot to deep target, right? So, like, square up with an imaginary version of your fighter and protect your sword leg. Because, dude, if he goes here, that's great. Boom. Boom. Like, I'll trade a leg for a shoulder all day against the left-handed fighter. No doubt. Like, come on all day. Like, I'll fight you from my knees while you have one sword. That's an advantageous position. So squaring up this way and then covering down here. When I have a tiny center grip shield, I generally want the lower portion of my body to be covered by the shield, and I want to be sword blocking and par blocking. Do you know what a par block is?
I do not.
Okay, so if somebody throws a shot at my head, I can very rigidly and very strongly block it. You shall not pass, right? That's one option, and that's what most people do. That ain't what you want to do. With a hang on. Okay, my bad. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. If you have a loose hand and somebody sword blocks, what's going to happen? You're going to bleed all the power off of it. It's going to load your sword for you, and you're going to throw that way.
Is that the same thing that the rogues are doing when they throw like the wrap and they cover their head like this?
To a certain extent, I don't want to speak on two sticks because that's not like my thing.
No, I mean, even like a right-hander does that. They drop that over the top. It's a pretty standard block.
If I'm buckler fighting, I'm going to sword block over here and let you hit my blade and knock the blade back, and you load my weapon for me. Like here, I have no power from here until you load my blade back. And now I can throw into that, and it works great for left-handers. So if you're fighting with a smaller shield, I think you want your shield on the lower quadrants and be looking to pick up these little sword blocks, man. I have made a lot of headway just picking up this quick riposte where somebody comes in, papaya, or like shield block. They think I'm going to shield block again. Nope, sword blocking and going. Like mixing up your defense and stuff like that. So if you can project to the right fighter, cover your sword leg more, bait your left leg out, and then like be looking to like sword block and riposte off of that with your feet under you, you're gonna do a lot of damage.
Cool. I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, it's a great technique, dude.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Par blocking changed the game for me.
Yeah. I mean, there's even like parry blocking where when you're parrying, you're literally just putting enough energy into it to make it so it doesn't hit you. You're not hard blocking against it. So you're kind of just phasing through it, right? But
so
those
before Randall goes,
baby steps right now. Let's do one thing at a time. Let's build that.
Before Randall goes, give me 3 things that he can work on.
All right. Number one. Oh, you're talking to me, right? I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Okay, good. Yeah. Projecting and squaring up with the imaginary opponent to your opponent's one side or the other. I like if I'm left, it's hard for me to transpose as a left-hander, but I'm going to imagine somebody square up to that. That's going to put you in a much better defensive position and bait them to the left side. Number one, keep your feet under you and not have such a wide stance. And then you've got a lot of speed, but I don't want you to as much as speed is great. What's better is explosion or variation. Like you would be if your full speed is 100 miles an hour, I'd much rather you fight at 75 and then fix the right time to hit the nitro button and go. Like that is much more dangerous than I can always adjust to a fighter that's faster than me. What I can't adjust to is somebody who like an explosive fight. So don't think just in terms of like overall speed. Be looking on how you can vary your speed to your advantage and be explosive.
All right. Thorfinn, all you.
All right, 3 things. Trust your shield. All right. And what I mean by this is learn to actually put your shield in the right place and defend yourself with it. Okay. So by trusting your shield, you're not having to do excessive sword blocking or anything else. You can then transition from your shield to your sword or whatever you need to do for defense and offense. But learn to actually put your shield in the right place. And a little bit like Randall said, I wouldn't say there's a third person, but like maybe 20% over when you're not doing a full person's adjustment. I would say maybe a bit of an adjustment over towards your opponent. Let's see. Also, in every one of these things, you need to figure out how to get yourself in a good stance. So when you were legged, we can talk about this. You were square with your opponent, so you're presenting your full body across towards your opponent, right? And you need to be bladed out even while you're legged, because it's going to have you still can engage your hips and your core more. Okay, so that's part of it too. It's finding your true stance. And last is learn to move on the balls of your feet. And those are the 3 things. If you do these things, these 3 things right here will move your fighting forward. Oh, and breathe. Always breathe. Other than that, those are 4 things. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for allowing us to watch your fights.
I forgot one thing. Can I add this? I'm sorry, real quick at the end. I was scrambling to try to remember what I was talking about. General rule that has always been true for righty versus lefty matchups. The first person who commits without freezing their opponent loses in a high-level righty-lefty matchup. When I fight Duke Anton, 5-time Atlantean King, like we are in a match to see who can commit first without freezing their opponent. And that's why I love that little hop at the 2 minute and 7 second. You froze your opponent and went. Like, be looking for those moments where you can do that, because if you can get them to commit first and you've got a higher hand, lights out. Easy trade all day.
All right. So lots of different ways to fight, right? I'm just going to go. You already know how to throw a sword pretty well. There's going to be lots of different variations you're going to learn over time. There's lots of different ways to fight people. You're lefty, so you're going to be presented a lot of things you have to learn. Good part is you've already seen a lot in the other game you played. The things I would probably watch for yourself is, first, number one, you got to fix your feet. All right. You have to be able to move. You have to be able to shift your weight and control your weight over your feet so you can move any direction you want. This will also allow you to be more present in front of your opponent. In other words, you can, if your opponent moves a little, you can take it away. If he moves back a little, you can pull forward into your front foot a little bit more. This will allow a little bit, and that same thing from side to side. So this will allow a little bit more subtle movement inside your fight, but feet. And that next piece of that becomes, and that's all about that balance Randall just spoke about a little bit. Next piece is how to move. Right now you have the burst is perfectly fine. The key about burst is timing. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But the key about burst is timing. So, but if you fundamentally don't know how to move, then the burst is not going to be great unless you have really good timing on what you can do. Otherwise, your opponent's going to control most of that range most of the time. Even worse, your opponent will start controlling the angles, and that's what will start really breaking you down. So you have to, as your opponent moves an angle, you have to understand how to counter that angle. If that's with a pivot, although be very careful on pivots, usually what you want to do is track them and always stay in front of them. And I think I'm glad Randall jumped on at the end there. I think he's 100% right. And this is every fighter, by the way, is fakes. You actually have to throw less. And I think you're wrapped up in your sword too much. And what's happening is you're forcing shots, and you're giving your opponent time to start figuring those out. Every time you throw a shot, your defense is weaker. If you don't fix in between shots, in fact, it becomes weaker your defense becomes weaker over time. So be aware, every time you throw a shot, your opponent has an opportunity. Not that they can take it, but if you watch, there was just a Michael J. White video posted up about this. But if you watch, a lot of times you'll change speed on shots. Speed kills. Can kill both you and your opponent, but it can also kill you. And what I mean by that is, if you're just throwing with speed all the time, you haven't really learned how to change the tempo of a shot or how to change the time of what's happening in the fight. So what I'd like to see you do is always work feet, work your angles, work your good defense, work your range. Those are the things you're having trouble with. You're not having trouble with throwing your sword. So what you need to do is settle back from throwing your sword a little more. And the less you throw that sword, the more you're going to have to rely on those other things I just told you about. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
So the key here is work on your weakness and less of your strength. And I think that will help you a lot. All right. Thank you for joining us, by the way. And welcome to the SCA. I really, I hope you enjoy your next 40 years like I enjoyed.
Did we lose Song? Song's still here?
It looked like Song had a.
She's right there.
Okay.
She was just off
Oh my
video.
God! I thought maybe we lost her on bad internet connection or something.
No,
no kidding. Hey, Hob, thanks. And you have what a cool and wonderful place to be is at the beginning of your building of your renown. And as a person who did all that, I look back and I'm jealous that every time I get to watch someone go through that process, because it's really, really fun. So
learning is exciting.
So good.
Been having a lot of fun, just getting to meet people and stuff, and I guess I'm traveling to 3 different groups, so like it's just been interesting seeing the differences between even local groups and just fighting the different fighting styles. I've been having a blast.
Good. Happy to hear that, buddy. Keep it up.
I'm gonna try to hit more events in this upcoming year. Will not be at Penzic, but
all right. That's all right.
Sad face.
All right. Can we go ahead and cue some video up? Here we go. This is going to be fun. I've actually had a chance to fight Song, so I'm looking forward to seeing some of the new fighting, because it was a couple, maybe 2 years ago, Song, the last time we fought.
We did a little bit of fighting at Penzic last year.
Oh, we did just touch the base.
But I was like in the middle of the rapier tournament as well.
Yeah.
What just happened there? Was that an onside head that you got on them?
I think so.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
That's counter work, by the way.
Okay.
He did a double.
Double, yeah, you got the offside while he, yeah.
Double.
Okay, good. That's what I thought.
All right, well, offside, that was his offside that time, right?
Yeah, big reaching one.
Yep.
I can't throw that shot.
Nice move. All right, what happened there? So hold the video for a second. Thank you. What happened in that last pass? It looked like, did you hit him or he hit you in that one?
I don't remember.
All right. Let's.
Can we drop the speed on it? There we go.
There we go. Right there. So he looked like he countered on your recovery, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he stayed up and just did like a little drop shot right there off the top.
Go back a little farther this time. I want to see that last chop shot.
Oh yeah, that was me telling him I couldn't drop my hand down enough.
Ah.
Went a little too far back. Sorry.
That was the double kill. Yeah. Okay. No worries.
It wasn't a double kill. I just did a double offside.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. All right, you're gonna. Let's see. I think we got one more.
This is the fight you're talking about right here coming up.
Yeah. Go ahead, slow it down for a second. All right. So you had a nice little shuffle there. You're keeping your feet in pretty good place.
Yeah.
The combo was nice. So he hit you center line pretty much on that last one, right?
Yeah.
So
I think I have an idea there.
All right. So let's go ahead and pause it right here. Let's just take that pass and a couple of the others before, but let's go ahead and Randall, you got enough to talk about? Or actually, Thorfinn, you said you had something. So
I think what's happening at the end of that fight is that this is another case of your shield freezing and you progressing your fight through your shield, right? So you don't really move it again, and you just keep going forward. You're like, I'm attack, which is, it's really common to do this, right? Because what you're doing is you're asking your body to split 2 functions, and then more than 2, because your bottom half's doing a whole nother thing, right? So you're having to say a lot of different things need to happen right now at the same time, and you are focused on trying to hit them. And so what is very common is your shield just kind of stops working, right? And you drop back and he bunk. It was kind of just right down the center because your shield just moved back. And unfortunately, that shield has that point, right? If you don't use that kind of angle on those things, you're just taking away the advantage of having that nice little peak there. But yeah, I think that you stepped out from behind your shield, and again, very common. So this is about learning when you're with training with your partners to make sure that you're keeping your shield always in a good position to defend while you're attacking too, right? So that was my first observation. And I hope that it's helpful.
Oh no, that's something that I've been having an issue with since I started in the SCA like 13 years ago. It used to be a lot worse. I would do like both.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah,
hey, then you're
great.
really doing great, because it was just a small failure.
Yeah, they used to go, okay, no, we're not going to do this song. You will get hurt.
Yeah. No. In all honesty, it was a small movement, but you need to make sure that all that stuff's tight. That's all. That's my first one. So.
Uranus, you're muted.
My turn. Yep, we're good. Everybody good?
Yep.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
So
Yeah,
the things that I saw are you are double covered. You have all of your offensive and defensive capability up here. You are fighting from up here. Go back and listen to what we talked about with par blocking. Keep this down here and see if you can't pick up some sword blocks and work on that. Okay. I just think you're too far up here. It's like people are just faking to the leg, and it's either they're both going down, or they're faking up high and they're both going up, and then you're just completely out of position. Because all I have to do in that stance is get you up. If your sword hand is here and your hand and elbow are so far away from your shoulder, I mean, as an Atlantean, I know you play in Atlantia and Meridies, so it's like those are two very opposite spectrum. So I don't want to like advise you on Meridian fights, but if I see a fighter with their hand up here, I know they ain't gonna hit me with nothing. I can go in and throw 3 shots before they get their hand back to their shoulder to hit me with actual power. So like your upright stance, I think you'd be better off like lowering this a little bit and be looking to pick up some sword blocks and do some other, because you're double blocking. I see a lot of this where you're removing your offensive capability. And if I can do that, then you just become a Pell. You become a great Pell for me to just work on feints, do some other stuff, throw this, throw the leg wrap, come over here, throw the pendulum, do whatever I need to do. Like, okay, cool. She's not going to hit me. Great. We're going to have fun. Like, and I don't mean to like be abusive about it. Like but it's like a teaching moment for somebody. I think you're double blocked. And while you're going so that's point number 1. Point number 2, when you are going from high to low, you're throwing your leg shots, and it's a very common mistake, which is you are swiping, you are slashing across and pulling your hand back. And there's a really simple technique that's very, very rewarding. Punch them in the junk. Like if I'm up here and I want to go for that leg, I am making a direct line for their genitals, and I am short stemming the leg. If you just punch as hard as you can at the junk, the sword will hit the leg first. Don't worry, you won't nut a guy. And you will deliver so much power. Yeah, just the people want to swipe at the leg and slice it like they don't have armor. You want to, if I want to hit this leg, I aim for the inside of this leg, right? You want to be aiming for that other leg. And the best way to get there, the beeline that always works, is just punch a dude right in the junk, man. It feels like when you hit that leg, obviously if their leg disappears, you punch them in the dick, you feel bad, but like, whatever. I mean, we're all authorized fighters. We all sign it. We all should be expected and armed appropriately to the rules of the list. But that's the big technique on your leg shots that I see is missing, is punch them in the junk. It is the easiest shortcut to deliver power to those legs going high to low. Just go right for it. Like, and the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah.
Real quick, I think maybe a slightly more elegant way of saying that is Musashi says, cut your opponent, right? So it's not about touching your opponent. It's about cutting through your opponent.
Yeah.
Right. And so Musashi, I don't know if you know who Musashi was, famous samurai, wrote a whole book about sword fighting. But the whole deal is it's not touching your opponent, it's cutting through your opponent. So whatever angle you're doing, you want to make sure you go through the body. You're aiming through that. So that way if you just set yourself up mentally, your target impact would be the outside of the armor. That's what your body's going to aim for. And all of your energy will transfer just to that. But if you look to yourself to go through that, it's going to happen naturally, organically. You're going to go through your opponent. And so aim for their junk is, I guess, what we're saying. So,
Yeah,
All right.
I was going to say Randall's actually sat down with me at a 3-dog and made me punch at his leg.
yeah, good.
All right.
This is
So
the right way.
I think the key. I'm going to make, and I'm not giving you a short period of time here or a short answer here, but I actually think what's happening a little bit at the end of that video is you lose some of your focus and some of your intensity, and that's where your shield actually goes wrong. There's a
spreads, right?
Well, there's actually a waiting point. You're trying to figure out what the next shot is, and when you think is one of the weakest points of time in a lot of that place. So be careful if you're not. It's okay. You know, I'm an outside fighter. I'm not going to stand in front of somebody while I'm thinking. I usually either, you know, shuffle around some corner. Even inside, though, think about stepping to an angle if you're not sure what to do. So if this is a fundamental almost to everybody, even if it's 2 shots, that's great. If it's 3 shots, that's great. That's a little bit, you probably, where you're from, that slice work. Well, you know, in Meridia's, that slice sometimes works because they take lighter there. So you just have to be careful on the opponent you're competing with on that shot. But the key is after you're done with a shot or with a combination, shift an angle. And I don't care if you're inside or outside. The throw and then movement is one thought, not 2 thoughts. And I'm not sure I want to make sure you understand what I mean. When I tell people all the time, it's like I throw and I just move and then I do my evaluation. Don't throw, evaluate, move.
That's 3. Yeah, what you're doing is you're adding another process to the middle of that section, which slows down your brain for 1/10 of a second, which is too long.
And if you look in that video, that's exactly what happens. You're standing in front, figuring out what the next shot is. So
yes, that's right. She froze her shield, frozen.
Yep.
So it's a hard. Yep. And if you get into that, the good part is just by moving into a different location, your opponent actually has to rethink what they're throwing because it's a different shot. So
adjust their fight now. Yeah,
you got it. You're giving, and if they don't adjust their fight, they're actually not throwing the blow that they expect to be throwing. So it's an opportunity to give you some more time to either move out or think of what the next shot is or what opening you had. So just beware. Watch that tension level. What's happening is you had great tension, bang, 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 and that tension went down.
It just drops. Exactly like a balloon deflating real quick.
Yeah. All right.
This is not an uncommon problem.
No,
with a lot of fighters.
Problem either.
So it's not you. This is universal. This is great that we're talking about it.
Yep. So think, throw, move, and then evaluate. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead.
The evaluate part is allowed. You've given yourself space, right? And because of that movement, they're having to adjust their fight, right?
Yeah.
So that allows you the free space that, 1 second or 2 seconds for you to see what's going on and then figure out where you're going next. And then that could be just a movement. It could be an attack. It could be just defense. It could be all of those at once. But giving yourself that space to actually step back for a second and look, huge.
Well, and the good part about that is you'll start learning the rhythm, and you'll actually start controlling rhythm, and that's a whole nother game. It's a lot deeper, but it is what happens once you get into that space. So remember, throw, move, throw combination, move. It's everything is in the end of everything. Just get offline.
Yeah, get offline. Right. Yeah.
Right. Don't stand in front of the punch.
Correct.
All right. Let's go a little more video.
Yeah. Can I say I admire your kit? I think it's kind of cool looking.
Oh, it's even. Oh no, you had the shoulders on. I love the new shoulders.
The kit is cool.
I mean, mad respect.
Really the whole vibe. You have a whole vibe about you that is just so delightful.
Woo, okay, somebody was tired of you pushing him around.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see that you were marching him around the field? He had this one martial art called "I'm way bigger than you."
Yeah.
because that leg shot was real close. You were real close.
I don't know if it was.
He's even talking to you about.
No, he took it. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah, it looked good.
Maybe more than close.
Yeah, he said that one hurt.
Nah.
Hey, let's go.
Sometimes it takes a second to sink in, though. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
That's fair, though. Now you're in his head, though. You got him a stinger. Did you get you with a wrap?
Yeah,
he just smothered you with a shield. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, let's go back for a second. Let's finish that last person.
Yeah, let's finish that talk. That was nice. That was good. Great set of fights, by the way. Just FYI.
I don't think we need to cover a lot of what we just covered. The one thing I did see, you controlled the forward momentum in that fight. So forward that we got on the subject of rhythm, and I apologize. I see my videos hanging a little bit for everybody, but you were walking straight at him the whole time. And you didn't even change the pace at which or the tempo of your walk. So if you change that changes the tempo of their moving, and then you can cover space or release space. But if you're just doing one thing, then it becomes very easy to mimic and then take over. And then he gets the rhythm, and he changed the rhythm when he knocked you down. Right? That's what's happening. So be very careful at it just charging straight into somebody. Use your feet to charge into their corners. Like, he's the bull, you're the matador, right? So you push into a corner, he has to turn. In that turn, he's doing a rotation, and then you push on the other side. Now that bull doesn't know where to go, and he get on his heels. So something to think about.
Remember, once you get their shield moving a bunch like that too, like what he's talking about is changing positions, they're having to adjust, right? And the more the shield moves, suddenly they're in the weeds, right? They can't get their shield back to where it needs to be, and it goes back and forth. And that's how you beat them, is that they're behind the curve. Once they're behind the curve, you're controlling the tempo of the fight.
Yeah. So, Randall, you're giving me the side eye.
No. So, like, no, this goes back to, like, honestly, like, I'm going to be super vulnerable here. Like John Jacobson made a comment about how he disagreed with something that I said. And
I know it's going to be awesome.
I had this moment. I was like, who the hell is John Jacobson? And I went to Facebook and I was like, I saw Rick. I was like, oh no.
I know. Well, the word
like, that guy's way better than me. I'm going to shut up.
No, you can't, because he said you were killing him, because I was talking to him on the side. He said, this is not fair. He's killing me, and I'm not even fighting him yet. So I set you guys up some fights for Penzing.
I fought him like 7 times. I remember when I was I killed him once. I will never forget it. Like, it was a crowning achievement for me. I got a short stem in. I was like, it can be done. Like, it can be done. So, lesson to the unbelts: hold your tongue. Do your research before you're like. So I was like, oh shit, this guy knows way more than I will ever know about fighting. So, and that's the thing, I don't have all the answers. Like, I don't have all the answers. Like, par blocking and sword blocking has been a big technique for me. It may not work for you. It may not be in this school, but like, nobody has all the stuff. If you can come to my school and learn a little bit from me and figure out what works, and go to Rongvalder's school and figure out if that works for you, that's what it's all about. Like, yeah.
And let's be honest, we should have said this earlier. There is no common language. And so when we talk about these things with other fighters, I could say a thing, Brenos could say a thing, and then, you say a thing. We all said the same concept, but how you said it made sense to them. So it clicks, right? So it's okay to have different kind of concepts coming at them, because your student is going to hear the one that works best for them. Right, the language that works best for them,
and not only the language, even the technique.
Yeah, for sure. Right, even if it's a tweak on the same technique. Right.
Yep.
So those are all valid. Every meat suit is going to drive itself in a different way, and the things that make it work and make it so that it can perform different. So we can say all these things. That's why there's like range A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3, and all the other stuff. We'll figure out a way to get to someone hopefully can say the magic words that make you understand how to do these things.
All right, let's go ahead. Go
I was
ahead.
going
You
to
have
say
a
something
question.
about that last fight. Ulrich is someone I used to just go in, out with, and he would get me coming in and out. So I wanted to try. My goal with him was to try to keep pressure on him forward.
Mhm.
That way he didn't have that outwards. So that was something I was working on specifically in that fight.
Okay, yeah, and we just gave you a little bit.
Okay,
we
I'll
added,
be out in a minute.
we added a little bit more to it. In when you are in there, you'll have even more control when you're shifting to their sides. So,
Correct.
I think that was a good work for you, and he's very good. I just fought him at, I forgot what event. He was here for a regular day in Cleveland, and I got some chance to fight him, and I always love fighting him. So, but next time you shift, and it's going to throw that off on him.
Do you remember Game of Thrones? The when the littlest Stark is running and old Ramsay Bolton's firing arrows at him? What did everyone say? What did every human being watching this? Zigzag. Why are you running in a straight line? Why are you running in a straight line, little man? What are you doing? What are you doing? He's running straight. Just zigzag, my dude. Like, just zigzag. So when you pursue somebody, I want you to think about that dumbass Stark getting the arrow, luring Jon Snow, almost destroying all of Westeros. This little child almost destroyed all of Westeros because he couldn't zigzag. I want you to think about that. So don't pursue in a straight line. Even if you're not really, like, all you need is just a shoulder fade.
Yeah.
If you walk straight on and just present a zigzag.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to go straight on, like I'm like, my feet haven't moved at all. And then, but if I can find these moments to explode and you get an overreaction, that's when I take that big all-in footwork step, major zigzag. But just these, even with your shoulders, if you just posture and like roll up like fades and different little pump fakes, if you can get the momentum, you can gain a quarter second to a half second on your opponent. And then those gaps go from here to here. And that's the difference.
They call them fakes because they fake everyone out. And so what you want to do is you want to have like body motion fakes and things, jukes and things that you can do for sure. And what they have to make a decision instantly. Is this real or is this not real? And if they say it's real, then they're moving their body to adjust, right? And now, again, this is a time where they become behind the curve. So
that goes in, if you want to look a little more into that, look into boxing head fakes. So
yeah.
There's a lot of great ones out there. All right, let's do some more video.
Oh
yeah.
I did have a question for a song.
Okay.
How long was your sword?
33.
Looks like it's about 36.
Okay.
What? How long is it?
33 and a half.
Boom.
Okay. Oh,
Yep.
You're all right.
Which
adjusting for height. Okay.
Right. Well, no, that's the length of sword I use.
33. I use a 36. Yeah.
It depends on the rattan. I always go by feel of the hand. Like, some of my swords are 32, some of them are 33. It depends on how heavy the rattan is. I want the hand feel to be more important because I was a fencer and my range isn't a problem. Like, I could adjust that. Some people want consistency. Yeah. I want the feel in the hand to be consistent, not necessarily the length of the blade. But that's personal preference.
Yep.
Absolutely. No, understood.
All right, stop right there.
You have a question about that?
Let's go back and slow-mo that whole press.
Imagine having the confidence to fight two-stick double cross hilts.
I know.
Yeah, those are good gauntlets. So my original question would be, I'm not familiar with this shape of shield. Do you feel that is the like easy stance for you to come in with a kind of bladed out, so your hand is bladed towards the left with your opponent? Is that because they're two swords, or is that always your stance?
Oh, it's because he's two swords.
Okay, so I get you. Okay. So part of the way to fight two sword fighters is to have each one of your
go ahead and hold the video, Sivert. Thank you.
Your shield and your sword are addressing each one of the things, right? Range and angle changes everything about it too. But if you can do that, their advantage is that they have two things to attack with, right? So you have to steal that from them. You can do that by taking your shield and having your shield be addressing that one and your sword be addressing this one, right? But at the same time, you can still move in, right? So a little bit like Randall was talking about with that kind of he called it a par block, I think. I'm trying to remember, but like a movement block, right? So you come in through it. But I think that's one way to deal with those things, and I've had some success with it. But I don't know with that shape of shield. I'm trying to figure out my little head computer how that thing works. But I think that having going in like open on one side where they have that extra angle on you is hard.
If it helps, the shield weighs less than 3 pounds.
So that could be a benefit or disadvantage, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Shields have to have mass, right? That's kind of the sexy part about shields is that they can steal the energy from your opponent's attack.
Mm-hmm.
If it's too light,
25
it can be knocked
pounds.
around, right? So it can be knocked around if it's too light. Anyway, so 3 pounds. Okay.
Did you ever watch Bloodsport? Remember the guy that could do this with his boobs? I can do that with my left boob because my shield is so heavy. I can't do it with my right, but like I am a big believer in a heavy shield. Heavy shields absorb contact. They do not allow your opponent's weapon to bounce. I want Gumby as a shield. I want your sword to get lost in my shield. Like I don't want you to be able to predictably bounce off of anything. But it's a center grip. You've got to make some sacrifices.
Yeah, well, if I had to picture that shield functionally, I would say it's a rectangle.
Yes, it is.
And then
with points.
You basically get a point on top as a bonus round, right? I'm not sure moving it from being a rectangle to being, I don't know what those are called anymore. It's been a long time since I took geometry. But this angle, because that's leaving that leg open. And this is maybe like when I say the kite shield, if you move the kite shield off center line, that it steals the effectiveness of the leg block. But go ahead. I'm unfamiliar with this shield, so
okay. So Duke Jason out of NCR uses something. He has a couple other points on it. Super great fighter. The key on a light shield and using something center grip and is actually the use of range a little bit more. I think the weakness usually in a center grip can be your closer ranges because your opponent has you have more ability to move it, which in a closer range you don't want that.
It can also be used against you,
right? And if it's a light shield, then your opponent even has more ability to move it. And this comes from using probably a 3-pound shield because I can't actually hold.
You got a fucked up shoulder.
But look, I got new shoulders, so it's just
go back and look at her stance. Go look at her stance.
Well, right, so this is where I was
in this particular case. I think this is okay. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, actually, in this case, what's happening? You're trying to block most of your center, and you're trying because you're trying to use your shield against both his swords, which is technically impossible to do, really. This is where your idea, and we saw this, is you run in and engage. So when you first do that, think my shield is taking this sword, my sword is taking this sword, and then when you're in, you can make your decisions. Does that make a little more sense?
Yeah.
Here, there's some weakness when you're entering. Create more strength.
Your left leg is super open right now.
Well, we don't have to work because he's at range. So it's when you're running in, your feet are going to get wider. Your shield's going to lift, and he's going to have some opportunity. But if you separate them a little bit, you're probably better off. But be careful with that light shield getting too close sometimes. Yeah. I think for you, some of your best range is probably actually in an A- B+ range where your sword is actually able to throw, because when you get to A range, you get a bit smothered with height, and that hurts your throwing. So your goal at some point is and you can do this again. We can drill. The society hasn't put any rules against drilling. You could literally get with an opponent, with a friend, and do a shadow drill that you stay within 6 inches of each other, and you're moving around. One person's the leader, and I don't know if you took sides, leader, follower drill type of deal. One person's a leader, and your job is that person's always trying to stay within 6 inches.
Yeah.
And depending on what range you want to do that at, you change that range. If I want to change that range to, that C range, then I'm going to stay at a C range and constantly stay at that C range with my opponent doing a shadow drill.
This run that one all the time at my place.
Yeah, and this builds those fundamental ideas of building essentially connection with your opponent, which we do in dance and all of those other things. And that will help you get out of I'm going to do this. Well, it doesn't matter if you're going to do this if your opponent's doing that. So you build that connection, you follow it until you find, and what we're really building in that scenario is, again, rhythm. And then you'll find this rhythm that allows you to pull them into an opportunity, and that's where you take care of that opportunity. So I would suggest finding that drill that 6 inches away from your opponent where you still have, and with a polearm guy, it's a foot. Because it's a real bitch for a polearm guy once you get within a foot to do anything, right? So in this case, with the Florentine guy, maybe it's 6 inches, right? Especially a taller guy, if you're on top of him, he has all the sword over the shoulders and you don't anymore, right? So just be careful there.
Can I add something here?
Mm-hmm. Of course.
All right, so I really do not like shield leg forward against a two-stick fighter at all, ever. Do you see I want you to imagine like a little ellipse between your feet. Like, see this patch of ground that stands between you? All right, you are giving him a beautiful, nice, soft, romantic walk down the beach to your weakest part of your real estate. If you have sword leg lead and you just dangle the tip where this easy up is, you see the top corner of this easy up tent? If you just dangled your weapon out there, you have turned this patch of ground from a nice, slow, beautiful, romantic beach walk to a minefield, right? He needs to pay a price mentally to cover this ground. And I don't care if you've got a good, if you have a bad thrust, hang it out anyway, just don't use it. But he needs to, one of the worst things you can do if you have a bad thrust is let the opponent know you have a bad thrust. Just keep it threatening. If you just threaten him with that, he has to think way more. And I talk about spinning plates. He's got to keep 6 different plates juggling just to get to the A range that he wants to get to. You're giving him those 6 plates for free. I'd much rather you be starting here, because if he closes, you can just take your little pot shot and then back up, right? And fall right back into this stance just by moving your front leg back. And now I'm ready to fight up range and have my advantage. But if you give him this space down here to do whatever he wants to do, that's where he can feint and thrust and get you discombobulated and get the gaps that he needs to hit the targets that he's looking for. So even if you don't have a real threat, he doesn't know that until you throw a bad thrust. So if you've got a great thrust, use it, but he needs to be thinking about that approach. The same way if you're legged. That's the biggest challenge against the leg opponent, is getting into A range so that you can pummel them. That's the danger zone. You need to give him more danger and give him something to think about against a two-stick fighter. And that's useful for you, Hob, too, because if you're fighting two-stick, that's exactly what I'm going to be looking to do. I'm going to be looking to stab you right in the face as soon as one of your hands moves to go offensive. Boom. And all I have to do, all I got to do is fake it to get you to be like, oh, I can't. And then you've inflicted your will on the opponent, and that's half the game.
All right, let's watch the rest of this pass and maybe a little bit of the next one, and then we'll give you we'll go through the rest of what we're seeing, and then we'll give you our 3 things to work on, and we'll go from there. Did he get you with a stab, or was that a throw?
I couldn't tell what killed.
Can we go back for 1 second?
Yeah, there was a little bit of a hiccup there, and suddenly you were just dead. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what happened?
Oh, we're still on a new one. Siverd's trying. It's probably having some difficulties.
Also, thank you for helping with all of this. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Siverd came in to save the day.
God damn it! Right? I could have done this. No way. No way.
Yeah,
Honestly, I was gonna try and call Sarah, my lady, and be
It
like,
should be running. I don't know what
You're
happened
good at all
here.
technology. Make stuff happen. So,
Paralegals save the day.
the paralegal save the day, as per usual.
Siverd, can you just go to the beginning of this section, or you have a hard time going back?
The next fight, the last fight.
Yeah, he's having a hard time going back.
Okay, well, maybe we just all move forward.
Well, so
There we
there's
go.
the
Okay.
end of
There we go. Okay.
That's the end. Oh, almost there. Oh, no. Let's go forward from here.
Good them. You should see my little notepads. They're so weird looking. They just have like random phrasing and that's I have so many of these. I feel like I need to post them.
Take some pictures.
Yeah, right.
Who are you fighting here, Song?
This is Sir Halder.
Okay.
He looks like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
His range control is very good.
Yeah, no, he
His
looks slick.
footwork's nice.
That was a very nice.
He needs to learn how to use a round shield better, but
that was a really nice level change where you kind of made him throw over your head.
His stance would make me take my time. Like I would take my time against him. Like,
Yeah.
I got to give you credit. I mean, that was a really good pass right there.
Yeah.
And your stance. Now you notice you're not rushing him at all, so that's nice.
Your stance is way better here.
Like I mean,
then you have your shield behind.
But that's okay. I mean,
it's the
there's
same
a
thing
lot going on right there. Yeah.
Yes, it was a very complicated fight. But what I'm saying is, I think that the way you're addressing a two-stick fighter is your shield is completely out of line. It's not working, right? And you managed to get way better in this fight. Last part, you still left your shield behind, and that's what got you in the leg. Is that you?
All right. Stop the video for a second. Did he hit you with the wrap behind the shield edge?
I believe that's what it was, but let's watch it slower. See how? Yeah.
The face thrust to try and missed. Oh, he cut back on the body.
Body.
He just knocked your shield aside. He blew through your shield, right?
I think so.
Because I think that your shield was in the right place for that block.
Me too.
I blocked high, and then when he came across, I didn't get it over in time, I think.
All right.
Okay. So, again, right there. See what's going on? Is that the rectangular part is up too high, which is real natural to want to protect your head. The thing you want to do is not. I mean, all nature says protect your head, right? You can live without legs and arms in the real world. You can't live without one of those. So what we do is we do this a lot.
And he did that time. He hit you with the wrap underneath. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can we let's cover something here real quick. So I've been fighting with just because I had to give my plastic teardrop to somebody else that's having shoulder issues. So I've been fighting with a rectangle for a long time right now. One thing that's happening, and it happens with almost every shield, doesn't matter what shape it is. When you have a strong grip, your bottom shears out and you create distance between your leg and the bottom of your shield.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is, and with a plastic shield, it's twice as bad, just to let you know, because it's so much easier to do. Okay. This is a discipline thing more than, it's twice as bad.
Because otherwise they can blow through it, right?
Right. So this is something you have to think about. Think about releasing a little bit and dropping the elbow, almost like they're. So what I do a lot of times, it depends on the distance you are. But when I close, I drop this elbow almost like I'm resting it, and that shield becomes flat. All right. And what happens with that flat shield, it becomes very hard to move. And it looks like you can get this leg, but this drop is a big enough drop to pick that leg up because that flat rectangle is actually hanging out over here a little.
Yeah, you have a corner right
even
there.
Even though this shield's here and you can see the leg, the corner is still far enough. As soon as I drop, it's covering. Even better, when they being shorter, when they try to come over your head,
it's just like
you have this flat angle that is now forward back here. When I come out, it comes here. But when I come here, you see how this works? I can get wrapped. I catch it early. Okay, I just worked on this with Sir Jocelyn,
totally
with Sir Roshin. So if I'm sitting here and that person throws that offside wrap to the head, it's easy to go around that shield edge. But look what happens when it's here. It's catching earlier. It's like being the goalie in a goal. You're catching it earlier in the wrap cycle, and it actually, you don't have to do nothing with it. It's just going to catch it now. So think about taking this elbow and tucking it a little bit, and this hand's almost open all the time. I'm just literally, I could hold it with one finger here.
Yeah, you're like doing like a bit of a fade like that, right?
Yeah, take the bottom.
You're just fanning the elbow a little bit. Yeah.
So this shield is against your arm. Now all of a sudden I move this in, it's flat. It's not flat, it's flat. Look at the distance between, this shield is laying on your leg. Right? But we want it up here. Look at how much distance. Somebody throws a little J hook in there. That there's a lot of distance underneath there. So that's something to play with. Give it a try. But flattening that shield.
Remember,
go ahead.
That gap he's talking about, that from here to here part, doesn't seem very far. But what happens is when your opponent does a threat to you, your brain has to assess it, right? And then that slows down your ability. I mean, we're talking like a 10th of a second or something like that, but that's too late. For you to go, oh, that's either a real authentic attack or I have to do this, right? And so being in the right position, right, allows you to have a little bit more cushion in that space. That was I've never done one of those shields. Now I can't wait to do one.
and the fun part is we've done them with ovals and teardrops and everything else.
I've never done an oval either. Yeah,
Hobbs, this is the same for you, by the way, with the teardrop. When you center grip, and it doesn't matter. It could be a heater. All you're doing is flattening it. Look, my hand is pointing at them. The back of my hand's pointing at them.
Roll your hand.
There we are.
Yep.
All right. By the way, if Randy, in Atlanta, you see they're sitting, that arm is on their body. That shield is flat.
It's rested. It's like
huge
rested
flat
solid,
plane.
right?
Because you're not going to move a 25-pound shield. Right?
I steer my shield with the combination between my elbow and this rib. I move my body around the shield, not the shield around the body. That's why, like, when I switched from a light shield to a heavy shield, I got my butt whooped like for a year making that adjustment, but I became a much better fighter. And I remember, like, one of the guys I fought in Crown, like, picked up my shield after I won. He was like, oh shit, like, no, this is why my shield's like, yes, this thing is heavy as hell. It absorbs a lot of things, but like learning to, and I purposely keep my shield this way so that I am forced to steer this way. If you're here, you can do these punch blocks and other stuff. If I'm here, it cancels my tendons. I have to steer from the shoulder and the deltoid and fight around it. Like, and move here, fight here, do whatever I need to do. And going back to the difference, like, you're in Meridiers, you've been playing back and forth. I think you've done a good job by, like, I think you've gotten married to Meridiers and Atlantia is your hall pass. Be mindful of that, right? When you come to these two very divergent cultures, it's very easy to get lost in one or the other. So, like, I think you've decided, like, where you want to be and, like, where you want to get a belt from. That's fine. But when you come to Atlanta, we love to have you. Love your vibe, love your spirit, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about you, but, like, be mindful in your growth pattern of, like, this is the hall pass. We don't take this one home. Like, come on down to Atlanta, have a good time, but you're not going to have the growth optimization here. Like, and having those separations between when I went to Gulf Wars as king, got my butt whooped by Meridians because I am trying to emulate a fighting style that is not mine, and I don't want to be a thick king, right? You know, but there were guys that just whooped me up. It's a different game, and you know, I wanted to be courteous and all these other things, but be mindful as you're pond hopping. Who are you married to? Who's your hall pass?
All right. Let's wrap this up. It's real late. I'm going to thank all the audience for hanging in with us through all the issues we had. Thanks for Sean for setting all this up. I did miss him. I did miss him too. And a huge thanks to Sivrid for making this happen.
Yeah. God bless
you. But let's go ahead and wrap it up with the 3 things that we think Song can kind of really focus on a little bit. I love the idea to kind of hall pass. When you go to Atlanta, just be yourself, have fun, and put it all out there. They love it. This is the place you can put it out there without judgment. And then when you go back home, you do what you do at home. So, all right, let's go ahead and 3 things that you can work on. Let's go with Thorfinn first.
All right. Shield position. We talked about it a bunch. And as you transition through your parts of your fight, making sure that shield is in the optimum position for you to protect yourself, as well as give you the space you need to have your offense. Okay. You're close. I mean, what you're doing is you're rushing in, and then we talked about this earlier. You get into a place, and then you're like, oh no, but where do I go next? If your shield's in a good spot, that gives you that kind of luft. In chess, they say air, right? For you to create that space. Okay, that's number 1. What was the other one I said? Oh, don't get ahead of yourself. You're getting ahead of your fight, and instead of allowing your fight to evolve naturally, what's going to happen is the fight's going to lay itself out. So if I could say anything, stop having plans. To every single fighter in the world, stop having plans, right? What you do is you trust your fundamental skills that you've worked and drilled on. And then when you get into that position, right, the fight will lay itself out before you. Okay, so stop having plans, stop getting ahead of yourself, and let the fight roll out naturally in front of you. Okay? And the last one is just slow down. You're doing great. Just slow down. That being said, I want to say thank you very much for putting yourself out there and allowing us to kibitz over all of the things that you do. Okay? If you have anything you ever need, reach out to me. I'm glad to help. Thank you, guys. Can't wait to do this again.
All right, Randall.
I'll try to wrap it up quick. So I want you as a center grip fighter to be more tip range control. Like controlling this zone, even against 2-stick fighters, non-2-stick fighters, you're sacrificing so much by being here with a center grip that you can always just dangle out here just to keep them thinking and then come back to here if they advance. You've always got that in your back pocket. So learning to get comfortable on your front foot and knowing when to switch and switching those things is going to be super important. For all, like, this is more of an Atlantean thing, but like we call it a flat snap where you come here, and I found my remote, right? So flat snap here, tip and hand are the same. Every female fighter that I've ever worked with, I have encouraged them to have the tip lower than the hand. If you can, because most of them are shorter. So if you're coming up high and you're throwing like this down, it's not going to be as much as if you throw this way and have the tip lower than the hand. And I try this at home. Everybody that's watching, this is a technique I do with new fighters. I will just switch my hips. Like I will just lock my hips, flat snap, and I will just rotate hips and hit guys in the head. And they'll say, oh, that's a 2 or a 3. And then I will do the exact same thing, but my tip is lower than my hand. I will rotate hips. That's a 4 and a 5. If your tip is lower than your hand, you will drive so much more power. And because of the angulation of the hips, the people that are female assigned at birth, like you got to fit the baby through. Like that's the way, that's 100,000 years of evolution. Nothing we can do about it. So you guys need every advantage you can. So being able to have that loose grip with the sword and having that tip lower will give you the extra power that you need to get some of these Atlantean thugs to actually like take a shot. That's two things, and then you just keep fighting. Like I said, I think hall pass. Like just you be mindful. Like I think you've done a good job of enjoying the path. There's nothing wrong with walking down the path and seeing that beautiful like mountaintop that you're getting to. So many people stay focused on the mountaintop that they miss a whole lot around them, right? Take your time on your path to look around, look back, go look at how far you've come. Like people just stay focused forward and it drains you and it depletes you. So like the path is a path. This is a scenic walk. Take your time. Like do appreciate what you've done. Take a while, look around, see the scenery. It's not about the destination. If we could give you a magic pill to get knighted tomorrow, it would be the worst thing we could ever do. Be the worst thing we could do. So those are the three things.
All right. And I'll wrap her up. First thing is I have seen the growth already. So I surely hope that you have. And, you know, give yourself credit for that. I think everybody else has. Sure. I think everybody else has. Don't take that away from yourself. And that goes for everybody out there. You know, the worst thing we can do is not give ourselves credit for the things that we're successful at. And you are being more and more successful at fighting. So, so I would say, again, look at specific drills that can help you. And the first one is work on those lead follow drills, right? And work on the distance of range and start those slow. And then you can build up some speed. There's two great videos that were shot, one at Penzic, one at Gulf Wars, that help you with that. So in most of those cases, it's at a C range that's happening. We're on the edge of range and we're shifting in and out and creating tension at the edge of range. But you can absolutely do that. And it's even harder in that 6-inch range or the 1 foot range. So if you start out a little farther and like, okay, we're going to fight in B range, the 3 foot range, and we're going to do this and developed until you're like, I can stay up with them at the 6-inch range. That's going to help develop that space. And it will also really help you start developing that rhythm that fighting is all about. The next thing I would say is really start thinking, and this is from John Eric, or should I say Rongwalder. And I talk about a little bit about like positioning the feet the right way. He always kind of turns the language for people. And one thing he turned that I really enjoy is, and just maybe a month ago, is think about attacking not with your sword, but with your feet. And the key with attacking with those feet is now you're creating those timings. That attack does not mean you have to go into range. It just means you have to attack into a position. You're not attacking straight forward because you're going into their strength. Attack into a corner, see what they do. Attack into a different corner, see what they do. You know what we're doing? We're learning. We're learning if that guy's pivoting, if they travel with you. Each one of those, like the last person they fought with, both people said, you know, both other coaches said, hey, with that guy, I would work him a lot harder because he moves so much better. They saw that. It's better to see it at the beginning of the round than the end of the round, right? You know, what I mean by that is we build, as you do something, you learn your opponent without too much jeopardy or in safety. So work on thinking about attacking with your feet at a range that's careful. You could even attack and run in as long as you know that it's like this person can't throw a shot based on where they are. And that dries up their tension, breaks down their breathing, and then you can come back out and you have all the control because you're the leader, right? So think about that one. All right. Last part, just work that shield, work more discipline on your shield. All right. I think that will help you a ton. So, all right. Go ahead and put everybody up on the screen. And Thorfinn kind of covered a lot of this. And one was, thanks everyone for doing this and the whole team for making it happen. Thanks for the comments online. You had a ton of people watching, which is amazing. A lot more people on YouTube this time. And I'll have to bring up my YouTube feed next time so I can talk with them. But a lot of top, it was interesting watching because there are a lot of really good fighters out there watching this. So best part about this is and I think that Randall talked about this with John. There are a million different ways to do it. You're going to find the places that fit you, use them, build them. But it's about forward momentum. It's about forward motion and seeing and celebrating the things that you do well and working on the things you don't do as well. So that's my big piece. And let's go ahead, Randall. Last word.
This one for the audience. Like, I've never met a fighter that I respect in this game that hasn't shed tears over this game.
That's true.
Like, I have never met anybody like, and let me tell you all, unbelts, knights, or whatever who's watching, you ain't special. You ain't special. All right. This game is frustrating. It will draw all of your emotions, the highest highs and lowest lows. So don't take a time. Don't be afraid to lean on each other. This is an emotional game. It is a frustrating game. If it wasn't hard, it wouldn't be worth it. Right. But I like I said, I've never met anybody who hadn't shed tears over this game that I respect. So all of us have cried. All of us have shed blood, sweat, and a lot of tears. You ain't special. So don't be shy. Don't be thinking that you are immune to this. It takes sacrifice, but it's worth the journey if you can keep going forward.
All right, Thorfinn.
Okay, so our fighter practice that we have at my house, I'm gonna piggyback on what Randall said. Muhammad Ali said, I hated every single day of practice, right? And he said, but suffer now and live the rest of your life a champion, right? And that's what practice is. Practice is not, it can be a grind, but try to take one thing and move your fight forward, right? Every day is where we're at. So if you have a bad day, right, that's where we're at today. Tomorrow we can do better, right? So we always are moving our practice forward. Our martial art is going forward. So those little things like that, I think, is something to always take away from any of these type of things, like a practice. It's a really tough space because it can become, especially if you have a very competitive practice, it can become a place where you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm not very good at this. Well, you're doing fine. Trust me. And the people around you are raising everyone up and working together, right? So I find that's the one thing to take away from all of this is you can always look back to other trainers, ask them, and they're going to help you out. Okay, can't wait to help. I want to say thank you to everyone. Welcome also to my birthday party because I put some candles out to make it extra sexy for everyone. Woo! Look at all these sexy candles. But anyways, that and keep rock and roll in your heart. All right, guys. Thanks.
I love that one.
The disclaimer at the bottom.
I know you like that one. All right. So for everyone else, next week, or actually, it looks like later this week, which I have to apologize to my wife. But later this week, it's going to be Sean, Floki, and myself. We're going to be covering manipulating range and controlling space. And we actually covered a lot of that in this video. We're going to deep dive into that a little bit more on Wednesday night. And then next Monday, we're actually having another one on tips on traveling with armor or fencing gear. We have some folks that do a lot of traveling. I'm going to hopefully take some pictures of my breakdown shields and things like that to give people an idea of how to make it easier. Great part about our society is that we can travel more now than ever. So that's what's really that made our sport excel. So thanks everybody for coming. Thanks our coaches and our guests for doing what they did. And we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday night. Bye-bye.